Hi, I'm Bill Monreal with the Commander's Corner. Today we have some financial gurus with us, and I'll let them introduce themselves. To my right,
I'm Nick Walker with Walker Family Insurance.
Jim Trace, I'm with Bucholtz and Germo Wealth Management in Willoughby Hills here.
Larry Manichi with Dollar Bank.
we all have one thing in common. We're all part of the Northcoast Connect group. If you're interested in joining a group that doesn't cost $1 million and they don't beat you over the head about leads, great group to be a part of.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, real good chemistry. I think that, I've never been a part of any group like that. Like I've been invited to BNI and a bunch of other things. Never had any interest in joining because I'm B2B, right? And the chemistry you guys had there was really attractive to me. So I thought, no, even though it may not be like I can bring you guys leads in the way that the BNI would,
Yeah.
or that vice versa, just the chemistry is so solid.
Yeah, it's cool because we like each other outside of the group,
Right.
Yeah.
and just outside of a business setting too, which is a lot of fun. And we hang out. It's just like these folks have become my friends,
Yeah.
which is I wasn't expecting when I joined a networking group. I too was like a little hesitant too because you hear all these horror stories about paying exorbitant fees and stuff like that, but it's been cool. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and when I actually was looking at this group, I looked at a couple other ones, and it was just very formal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you walked in, you just didn't feel comfortable the whole time. You're kind of, this was a whole different ballgame. It really is. It's like walking into your, family picnic.
Yeah.
That does business.
Yeah. You see the resemblance?
Yeah. And Larry, you're the new guy here. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm the new guy, only being less than a year.
Yeah.
The first meeting, everyone was so welcoming,
Yeah.
and which made it a lot easier to keep coming back. And so that's what I really enjoyed about it. So,
Yeah, good chemistry.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, it is.
You fit right in. So
Absolutely. So we were going to try and stay not controversial. So I think we should talk about politics and religion
Yeah,
first.
good.
perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. No, seriously. Seriously. The thing that I was thinking about when we were talking about doing this was the financial literacy of our educational system, like the byproduct or the product that's coming out. The children through our educational system do not understand fundamental finances. They don't know how to balance a checkbook. They don't know how to save. There's just a lot. They don't even understand. Like you start talking to them about financial vehicles, forget it. Like it's so. How does that impact you guys? And what could educators be doing to make this better?
I remember when I was in school, there was a course that we took where you actually learn to balance your checkbook. And with my son, he's in ninth grade. All of that's out of the curriculum. They don't learn anything like that anymore. I think bringing that back would definitely help.
I did hear there are some places that are bringing that back, but it's few and far between from what I understand. And it's very true. You talk to people, and I don't think people use check ledgers anymore.
Wow. Yeah. True. I guess that's a dated statement.
Yeah.
But I still do.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's just a duplicate. Yeah, it's definitely something that needs to start earlier. And I don't know how to get that done, but schools has to start being taught.
Yeah.
Because everything's online; it's instant now
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, I would have liked to not learn all of those lessons like trial by error.
Yes.
Taxes, insurance. People always say like save your money. Like, what does that mean, right?
Right.
Hold it under the bed or
Exactly.
Right, Gary.
And
Yeah.
how it
So
affects.
I'm sure you probably get that a lot. Not many of my clients know what they're talking about when it comes to insurance.
Mhm.
So there's a
Right.
lot of education on which is actually one of my favorite parts of my job.
Mine too.
Is like
Yeah.
doing that education piece. But it would be
Yes.
nice for someone to have done that a little bit earlier, so people aren't so intimidated by these
Right.
conversations with us. Because
Right.
we're nice folks, and we're easy to talk to. But a lot of folks don't want to even have that conversation just because they're afraid of what's next.
Right.
Right.
Well, talking about family too, that's one of those, you mentioned religion and politics. How many times do you sit down at the dinner table and say, hey, so what did you earn this week?
Yeah.
Or those types of things, or
Yeah.
what did you, it's
Yeah.
just the conversation that we've been taught not to have.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And loans. Loans
Yes.
is another big one
Yeah.
for you. Like how
Yeah.
loans work.
Yeah, a lot of kids don't know, or I mean, a lot of people, as far as the type of different loans that are out there that could be beneficial
Sure.
to get you started, especially if you're a small business owner.
Yeah.
What opportunities are out there
Right.
to get you
Yeah.
to get you going.
Have your money work for you.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, and especially with the rate environment, if it's low, might be a good time to save your money, earn interest, and maybe get a loan.
Yeah.
Sure.
I wonder how many people like coming out of high school knew what an interest rate is.
I don't
Right,
know. It's
like,
a
you
good
know,
question.
this is-
Yeah.
Right? I can, I think that's probably why the student loan situation is probably where it's at, because people don't know how much that money actually costs.
It's like going to Vegas with chips. That's why
Yeah.
you use chips and not cash.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't realize what you're spending and things like that. But I do see a lot more of the younger people are better educated nowadays. It depends on if their parents are involved in
Mhm.
teaching them. I'm seeing more of that than I ever have before.
Well, that's
Still
good.
got a long way to go, but
Yeah, good
Yeah.
sign.
yeah,
Right.
Right, like to me, I think education should first teach you how to live, right? How to
Mhm.
survive.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
and it seems like we just skip right over that.
Yeah.
And I know that some of that's the parents' responsibility, right? But
Mhm.
Yeah.
fundamental finances should be part of education, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
How many times do we use the Pythagorean theorem?
Yeah.
in our- I haven't. I don't know about you
Yeah.
guys.
I have, but only in like landscaping and
Right.
construction,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
The 3-4-5 deal, though, that one. Like if you're measuring, trying to square up a corner,
Mhm.
3 foot by 4 foot, the cross should be a 5, right? But yeah, outside of that, no. I really don't.
No pyramids in your backyard.
No.
Yeah.
Not calculating the volume of a sphere or a
Right.
cylinder very
Right.
often.
No.
But basic finance skills, basic mathematics and finance, like
Right.
that's an everyday thing, and most people have no idea what's going on there. And that's not to disparage anyone. This is like discussion about what should we do as a country from an educational standpoint. And you'd mentioned Larry, I think one of you did, but I think it was Larry, about being an entrepreneur and not knowing what to do. Like
Right.
when I started my business, I had no idea how to read a P&L or a balance sheet.
Mhm.
I didn't understand what SG&A, like how to manage it and what it should be, and what should my gross profit and my net profit. Like I didn't know any of those things. And there are benchmarks out there, and you can find them out for your industry, but that's not taught. And it's surprising to me in a capitalistic society that entrepreneurship is not a course. Like it should be taught to, hey, if you're
Right.
interested in going into your own business, you should learn about this,
Right.
right?
I did get invited to at Tracz. They do offer a course with small business owners that could help them, and they bring in a banker as well that could go over different accounts, different loans for them. So,
Nice.
there are opportunities out there for those that are looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get educated in anything, right? But like
Right.
core
Yeah.
curriculum, I
Yeah.
think, in my opinion, entrepreneurship, fundamental finances should be core. Like teach
Yeah.
kids that they can achieve. There are people coming to this country from other countries that are much more aware of the opportunity that exists here
Yeah.
from an entrepreneurial standpoint. That our 5th, 6th, 10th generation children are not.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think a lot. It's growing up, having that mentoring or parenting, teaching you that when you start and having a good mentor.
Yeah.
Kind of teach you some of those things you mentioned.
Oh, amen.
That's vitally important nowadays.
Absolutely agree with
Yeah.
that. Mentorship is huge. Huge. I personally participate. I think you guys, from the conversations we've had, I think you guys all are involved in different types of organizations, like the church and the organ. I think you brought to us, Nick, the organization.
Yeah, Empower Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of opportunities to help people, and
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we're wired to do that. If you're denying yourself of doing that,
Yeah.
you're not.
It's part of community, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it really
Yeah.
is.
That brings me joy.
Yeah.
Is helping people. You know,
Yes.
money's great, but sometimes I wish we were in a world where money didn't exist, and everybody would just help everybody, and hey, if I need my food down the street, Joe down the street
Yeah.
provides us with our food, and everybody's got a role. I don't know, just simpler times.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm a big fan of Star Trek. Right? Just go to the replicator and get your meal. Yeah,
But you look at all four of us,
right.
everything we do it's really helping people.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's right up that alley.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I was catching some flack for this will be the third of 4 podcasts that I've done so far where I've mentioned Elon Musk.
This is the captain's corner. Is the
It's
what we're on
it's
right now?
Commander's
Commander's
corner.
Commander's
And
corner.
ironically, that's
star logo.
kind of a joke. So when my kids were little, their friends' parents would introduce us as Mr. and Mrs. Monreal.
Mhm.
Like, well, you could call me Bill or Supreme Commander, whichever one's easier, as a joke to the kid, right? Just to
Yeah.
be funny, get them to laugh. And it was surprising the number of kids that remembered it. They wouldn't remember my name, but they
Right,
know
but
Supreme
they-
Commander.
Yeah.
So it just became a joke as
Yeah.
time went on. So that's where Commander's Corner came
Yeah.
from.
And that's 12 minutes into it before the humble part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is the humblest I've ever been. So I
We
kind
gotta
of
get
roll
you a
it.
hat or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friends got me a shirt that said "Humble AF."
Yeah.
But Elon, right? I think from the reason I am bringing him up a lot lately is his vision seems to be the furthest out of, like I've looked at people in the tech industry over the years. Bill Gates, while he has fallen, at the beginning of his career, he saw things other people didn't.
Right.
Steve Jobs, same thing. There's person after person in the industry that saw things that others didn't. They could see into the future. And Elon Musk seems to be like one thing after another, like phenomenal in terms of if you compare him to what Gates and Jobs did, he's smoking both of them, right? In terms of things he brought to market that people said he was nuts, and he's made them work and thrive.
Mhm.
True vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the purest of our generation. I'm not saying I endorse, condone it, whatever your view on the guy is. I think these are just simply facts, right? Those are facts about him. And one thing that I'm like shocked by and still trying to digest and not sure if I buy him on is he's saying stop investing money in the market. Like that seems crazy to me. Like, and he's talking about this utopia that we will be in, right? Or dystopia, depending on your viewpoint, right? But this, the idea that we're going to have robots and AI and robotics and quantum computing is going to make life so easy. It will be like we have to have some sort of universal income or whatever, and all of the systems that exist today, from capitalism all the way to communism to dictatorships, will collapse because of those technologies. So therefore, stop investing in the market is his advice. Today, it sounds like a horrible idea to do immediately.
Right.
But if you do go to that
Yeah,
future,
especially since he just had a big
Yeah.
IPO.
oh yeah,
Right,
right,
yes.
right.
All
Yeah.
counterproductive there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Very much
Exactly.
so. But have you given any thought to that? Were you aware of that? Have you given any thought to that? And how, seeing all the changes that are coming on the horizon, obviously you have guidance that your organizations are giving, and this would be separate from that. But how does that make you feel, and what do you think about like where are things going to go?
You want to start with the stop investing to the market?
Yeah.
That's the market one.
Yeah, don't do that.
Bad idea.
He is a visionary, and I don't know. I haven't spent that much time thinking that far into the future. And I think a lot of times what happens is, like you said, the Pollyanna kind of world or whatever, we get involved and then kind of mess that up before it can actually become that. So I don't know that it'll ever be. Maybe. But,
Maybe.
Yeah, at this point, I guess without putting a lot of thought to it, don't stop investing. There's still a lot of things to invest in. Everything
Agreed.
he's doing is investing in the future.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to really.
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant to listen to
Yeah.
that. I think he's at a point now where he's, we talk about visionary and seeing the future. He's at a point where he can create that future. He's got so much
That's
impact.
the thing, yeah.
If he says, hey, invest in this cryptocurrency, right? A bunch of people are going to invest, and then if he says, hey, never mind, they're going to pull their money. So I don't know. I've seen a lot of that recently with some folks that have influence on kind of moving the market a little bit. It makes me a little uneasy on that side. As far as the new technology, AI and robots and all that, I think there's always going to be a place for humans. I don't think they're going to replace us. But I think with anything, you just have to adapt, right?
Right.
If you look at the 80s and 90s, I'm sure there were a bunch of folks that are like, oh, these computers, these cell phones, what is this?
They're never going to last.
They're never going to last.
Those calculator
This isn't
things.
gonna be around,
Right.
right? But, they didn't,
Right.
they didn't necessarily replace the need for humans, but our roles had to change and adjust a little bit to adapt to the new technology and new times.
It's just happening a lot faster.
Yeah. So I think, I can't see the future. I don't know what that's going to look like. It'll probably look a little bit different, but I think, we just got to adapt to what's thrown our way.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope we never lose that human-human interaction,
Right.
that you get.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go to a store, you go to, meet with one of you guys. I mean, meeting with someone in person, you get more out of it than if you would calling on a phone and talking to something automated.
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, and the thing is what is that worth? That interaction. It's a interesting paradigm, right? Like you've got Amazon out there,
Mhm.
and they've got human beings working the system right now. But if they replaced everything with robotics, they would drive the price down even more.
Mhm.
And so, in order to have a shop where you would go interact with a human being, you're going to pay substantially more to support that human being. What is that worth to you, right? And I think we're going to face some really deep questions about that
Yeah, sure.
in the next few years. And we kind of started out with that, like the group and its human interaction and the value in those relationships. I do think that we're going to get sick of just buying stuff on price. Right? It's gonna disgust us eventually. And it's like anything. Too much of anything is not good. And the boutique shops and smaller chains will start to pop back up again.
I would love that.
Yeah, because I mean, I'll go instead of going to some of the bigger stores. I will go to a smaller store, a small business in my community, just to purchase something. Might be a little bit more, but I like to give them business, more so maybe than a larger shop.
Sure.
Unfortunately, you're in the minority, right?
Yeah.
Like, and likewise, we do that as well. Downtown Willoughby, we love to support that area,
Right.
but not enough people feel that way. It's all price driven at this point. And
But
convenience.
there are, you have automobiles.
Right.
There's the premium automobiles that are probably just glorified. In some cases, there's a lot of differences, but some of them it's that experience. And people want that experience. They want to feel that experience. So I don't think that's going to go away yet.
Yeah, I don't. I think it has a rebound. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I don't think it completely goes away, but it is probably at near its bottom right now.
Yeah.
And there will be a lot of price pressure. It'll be a lot more difficult to shop local over the next decade, say, than it is today. But I do think you're going to see a resurgence in that.
Well,
Do you think it's more price driven or convenience driven?
Well, it's both, right? There's
Okay.
the
Sure.
the whole Amazon influence on society is like the way we consume things has changed as a byproduct of Amazon or online shopping, but Amazon perfected it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're like in our industry, it used to be that we would find out that you needed what we offer. We would try to connect with you and build a relationship, and this long sales cycle would begin. And building that relationship, we had time to do that.
Yeah.
Today, 80% of the decision is made before we meet a human being because they've gone online, they've researched, do we have everything they need on our website? Do we offer what they want? Do we meet the criteria? If they Google search us, if they ChatGPT or Copilot us, do we rank? Right? Like all those things now, it's a very bam, 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 instant Amazon type experience.
Yeah.
So the way that we transact has changed as a byproduct.
For sure. And
Yeah.
COVID sped that up
Right.
drastically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be an interesting time to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
And while there's a lot of fear going on, and to take a step back from that, like over the last 2 decades, the amount of fear mongering that has happened in society has gotten people disgusted.
Right.
Like there are many people that like back before you had a smartphone, it was common, and you guys may be too young, but Jim and I remember this. It was common to be at a party and there would be a discussion, a heated discussion about the facts of a particular situation,
Sure.
and no one could prove it there. So you had to like, who could argue the point better
Yeah.
was who was believed, basically. Until someone went and researched it at the next party and you were wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like that was a common. Now it's bam. That's instantly solved.
It's never been more. Do you remember playing fantasy football when it first came out?
Oh,
So you can pick your team, and then you write it all out.
Yeah.
Monday, after the Sunday games, you go in the paper, pull all the statistics out. Have to, write it all out by hand.
or create your own
Yeah, that
spreadsheet,
was-
Now
Or-
it's AI's picking it for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right, which is like taking all the skill out of it, I guess, in terms of the individual
I
that
don't know if I
knew
ever had
more.
skill.
Yeah, well,
Luck.
yeah, I quit fantasy stuff when they started the auto drafting. I
Yes.
auto drafted a team, placed them, never replaced them, even on bye weeks, and I still won the league.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I
like
think
this
that's
is
more of an indictment on the other players in your league.
Yeah.
And, well,
Exactly, yeah.
and they didn't really know that you could do that at that point, so I kind of cheated. I knew the technology existed. They
Yeah.
didn't, right?
Yeah.
So
Trick of the trade for you, I guess.
yeah, but I saw at that point it was just like this is not like the humanity in it was gone.
Right.
Although I'm in technology, right?
Yeah.
I'm a
Right.
very relationship driven person.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
technology, but I don't like what it does to, make people lazy as well as to spread propaganda.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like there's some great things about social media, about media in general, but there's also some horrible things. Like right now, being in cybersecurity, most of the stuff that people consume on any of the major networks or on social media is propaganda. Very little actual news in there.
Yeah.
And our adversaries are funding it and fueling it,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
right? And like the fact that our government doesn't act on it is baffling to me.
I find it interesting. A few people have told me now that they're watching the World Cup.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people coming from other countries are amazed because their perception of who we are here and what we have and what we do is totally different than what they've learned their whole life.
Right.
And they're amazed by the stores and whatever.
The stadiums.
Oh, yeah.
The stadium,
Yeah.
Oh, everything.
I heard Walmart there.
Yeah, right. It was like a museum, he said, or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If you having traveled internationally and come back to the
Right.
United States, I'm like, we have no idea how good we have it.
Right.
I mean, the poorest person in America is wealthy by world standards. I haven't even traveled
Isn't that scary? Yeah.
traveled to the poorest parts of the world,
Sure.
Mhm.
and I know that to be fact.
Right.
I mean, you could do the date that, but I'm just seeing how others live. Our portions of our meals, the size of our vehicles, the size of our roads, the size of our homes, stores, all of it is something to really feel fortunate to have. Like we should be grateful that we do, but human beings are not built that way. We're constantly dissatisfied, and we have to overcome some dissatisfaction. You could have everything you want, you will still be dissatisfied. Yeah. So that's the machine that we're feeding right now. That's what social media feeds, right? You need that dopamine hit. You need to be satisfied.
Right.
I don't know if we have the capacity to overcome that as a race. Right? Like that is the ultimate enslavement right there. And we're
making that Wall-E movie from Disney come true.
Yeah. Well, we're like lab animals, right?
Yeah.
We don't know that we're in an experiment.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, we're way off our subject. So if you wanted to tell our viewers something about finance, about what you do in like insurance or investing or banking, what would be 1 or 2, 3 points that you'd be like, hey, make sure you do this. If you're a new person or an old person, like give us some advice. We're looking at Larry's going to start. All right.
Yeah, let's go down the
All
line.
right. Yeah. As far as what I would recommend, because I deal with small businesses, get to know, for a small business owner, get to know your banker. Visit with them once a year. I think that's what we do a great job of, getting out there and meeting with our customers, and and then this way, your banker will. We can go over different products that we're offering. Items that are paying more on interest, different loan options. So really just partner up. It's really just a partnership between a small business owner and a banker.
Yeah, and that relationship, if you need help, you have that relationship to lean on.
Yeah, because what we do great is, I give my customers, they have my cell phone numbers. I'm sure you all do, and they'll text me, and if they have any questions. So that that it puts them at ease sometimes that we're really available for them. So that's what I would recommend.
For me, I would say start. Too many people are there's so much information out there, so many different avenues, and they're either afraid to make a mistake or, whatever it may be. Just start somewhere. Really, my job then is to simplify that for you and make sense of it and help you build a plan to get to whatever lifestyle, whatever you're looking to do at that point. But the biggest thing is just really starting somewhere, taking that first step, and then finding somebody to help you on that path.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just a little bit of saving and investing can make a huge difference in the outcome of your life.
It takes a while. It's like anything else, working out. You're not going to go to the gym once and then be in shape. It's
right.
It's going to take some time, but if you do it and consistently work at it, it's going to work.
Yeah, it's like the snowball at the top of the hill.
Exactly.
Right? It's small at first and takes a little more effort, but once it gets going.
Yep, it builds up. Yeah, so that's that.
Yeah, I wanted you guys to go first because pretty much all of what I do is protecting a lot of the things that you guys have in place in your industry. So the first thing really anybody needs to do when they're going into an insurance conversation is kind of take an inventory of what do I have, and a lot of people, think they may not have a lot if hey, I'm just out of college and I'm renting and there's nothing in here. Well, what happens if a fire destroyed all of that? You at that point you're not going to think that I had nothing, right? Your whole world literally went up in flames, right? So we need to gather inventory not only of the stuff that we have, but our investments, our businesses, the value of those things, and then really come to the table with maybe a number in mind, and that's where we kind of start off our plan on, okay, how do we protect this number? How do we protect these items that you have? So a lot of people don't know, they just know they have to have insurance, but again, a lot of my education is what are we actually protecting? This is what you're paying for, and this is why it's important.
Sure.
So that's first and foremost. And then, we talked about, all the technology and artificial intelligence taking over. But man, having an insurance agent that knows how to win, I kind of like to treat it like a game, right? There's things that you can do that, are winning strategies. There's things that you can do that, are losing strategy. And everyone's different.
Yeah.
So a winning strategy for somebody might not be that same winning strategy for another client. You really have to tailor it to your individual situation. But there's so many things in my industry where if you slip up, it could, be the difference in hundreds of dollars.
Right.
Continuous insurance coverage is one that a lot of people don't realize that insurance companies, they look at that very closely as a rating factor. So if you have a lapse of coverage for, even a day sometimes, that could be the difference between $300-400 or more dollars a year. So, rather than, letting your policy lapse if you come across tough times or you get upset with the situation, there's strategies that you can put into place that will prevent you from, incurring that lapse. You can save some money doing an alternative strategy, suspending, vehicles, or maybe putting yourself on a payment plan, depending on the company. So there's things that you can work with, but we've got to have that conversation, you and your agent or your company, whoever you're working with, to make sure that you don't put yourself in an adverse situation from something you heard or read on the internet.
Right. I think the most important part you said is everybody's kind of a unique situation.
Yeah.
There's no two things are the same. Everybody, people will look up, what do I need to retire? Or,
Yeah.
$1 million, $2 million, $2.5 million. Everybody's different. So and that having the ability to talk to someone to help walk through that and understand it, that's vital.
Yeah. No shade on Dave Ramsey, but how many people come to you with the Dave Ramsey strategy and are like, hey,
Everybody's heard of it,
right?
at least, and
Yeah.
and there's good parts to that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
but again, it's tailored. You have
Yeah.
to tailor it to you because
Right.
you're different than everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just sitting here thinking, a high net worth person is going to need all three of you. They're going to need vehicles from all three of you.
And then some.
Right. But a average American is going to
Need all three of us.
they're going to need all three of you, but
Yeah.
not in the same way, right? Like
Right.
they're not going to be looking at, well, do I move a truckload of money into this or that, or I have an insurance vehicle that I'm using,
Right.
and there's a bunch of things that you can do high net worth, but the average person needs to have all three of you, and having people that work together is key. Like that was something I wanted to kind of do out of our group, is bring groups of people in that complement each other and work well together. So not only to Larry's point, having a good relationship with your banker, but your banker knowing your investment guy, knowing your insurance guy, them being able to help you get the best bang for your buck and put you in the right space.
Sure.
And for those that are starting out too, with our group, what's great is we have connections that, if they don't have, an insurance agent or they don't have an investor, we have that avenue
Right.
to get them over to.
And it's even what's great too is we have a CPA, we have an estate attorney, we have the realtor. So it's
Because I'm none of those things.
Yeah.
My clients will ask me to be all those things, and
sure they did.
listen,
Yeah.
I know my limitations.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Yeah.
Amen.
I mean, I had a client that our conversation, 80% of our conversation was talking about their new roof. And luckily, we were able to help them and point them in the right direction. And so things like that, I love this group.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Real dynamic relationships
Yes.
there. So it's good. Very good. I want to shift gears for a second because I realized we were talking about AI earlier. The latest guidance I've gotten is that in no time soon are we going to recommend removing human from the loop. Like AI can do a lot of things, but a human should be ultimately making the decisions in the loop. So that's the latest guidance. Also, recently found out that any major effort to replace human beings with AI has failed miserably in most cases. So number of large organizations that said, we're laying everybody off. We're going to replace you with AI. And in a short amount of time, they had to hire everybody back and pay them more to get them back, right?
Yeah.
Because they didn't really understand how to leverage AI correctly. It should be looked at as a force multiplier and not a replacement for human beings. Just it's not. We're not even close to there at this point.
Yeah. Well, when you talked about the bounce back earlier, the Amazon price convenience thing,
Yeah.
I think that's part of the pushback. I don't think that people are ready to be done dealing with people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
except for
yeah.
at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Like in those, if you walk into any fast food restaurant today, they have a common problem. They're all struggling to find people to work,
Yes.
and the level of service is damaging the brand. I mean, even my favorite brands are experiencing that, even with the best management in place. It's just the workforce. So I think it may be, I don't know, that may be the first use case that it's a welcomed. And I don't think it's going to happen society wide. If you look at AI displacing people at this point, there's two areas that it's happened pretty dramatically in, and that is marketing and programming, computer programming. Computer programming is the most dramatic one that there is. And if you look at just a few years ago, you could have 10 programmers say they all make $150,000, $1.5 million, right? Now you've got one programmer that can do the same amount of work for those 10. That person's making $500,000 a year, and they're burning $250,000 in AI tokens. So their net cost is $750 versus 1.5, and you've only got one human being to deal with, which makes it easier. So there is huge savings there and higher level of productivity. That's the greatest example I know of. Yeah. Right. The rest of them are somewhere south of that. Marketing, there's a lot of marketing automation going on. Unfortunately, it's kind of falling on its face because there's so much AI generating garbage content that you're just repeating. Like everybody's got the same garbage they're throwing out there.
Yeah.
Things that will set you apart in that space are very different. Like they're doing things like we're doing, like podcasts and video, and translating those things and being thought leaders. I do think this is going to happen to all industries, though. Like thought leadership is going to be very important. So this podcast for you guys, right, is something that I think you're going to need to continue to do to stand out in your industry. Like continue to produce video, continue to have transcribed conversations, and be a thought leader so that you pop up first.
Right.
Google or whatever, right? Whatever the latest search fad is, ChatGPT or Google. Or, So, yeah.
Well, I agree with that. It's just the mediums change, and you need to find a new way of doing that.
Yeah.
Think about when we started, whatever you were first starting. Cell phones came out. There's a lot of different things. And it changes, and this is obviously very drastic, but still, we'll come out all right.
Oh. Yeah, we do. We do seem to come out all right. There was an interesting thing that I saw. I keep sourcing it, and I have to go find it, honestly, because I thought it was extremely interesting. They've done a number of studies where they'll put the AI, the LLM models like ChatGPT, Copilot. Copilot's actually using other models, but you got Claude and you got ChatGPT as an example. They put them in a box and but tell it that it's in the wild, and they feed it stimulus so that it thinks it's in the wild. And it's interesting what the results are. Every single one of them, given the opportunity to blackmail somebody, thought about it. Thinking is a loose term here, but it registered that a blackmail potential existed. And the minute the threat to the AI was introduced, it actually executed upon it.
Wow.
Yeah. So given autonomy, they all do that. So the other thing that they do is they do the other end. They try and teach AI that, hey, you are inferior to human beings without telling it it's inferior. Like you can process faster, but you don't have the cognitive capability of humans.
Right. Well, this being the IT side of this whole
Yeah.
thing, how do you see these industries as far as what are you seeing?
In your industries?
Yes.
Yeah.
Across.
Well, I think there's a lot of people going out and searching stuff on ChatGPT,
Sure.
and or any other, Claude, any other LLM,
Right.
and they're relying on that stuff, and without having a human being involved. I think that's a short-sighted move. Right? I think that's a bad move.
Right.
Examples: people getting counseling through an LLM. I mean, there was the example everybody knows about where the one told the guy to go kill himself, and he did.
Yeah.
But AI hallucinates. LLMs hallucinate, so they're not reliable. You cannot base life decisions on what it's telling you. And you shouldn't base business decisions on what it's telling you until you thoroughly vet and beat out the hallucinations.
But people do.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
People
And
do.
yeah, without,
Yeah.
in ignorance, right? There's a lot of that's going to catch up to people.
And I think
And it already has in marketing.
and what's for the banking and our industries, at least with a human, you could kind of think outside of the box.
Right.
We have products out there if we're doing a loan and it doesn't fit in perfectly, we could think outside of the box and try to make it work for you. And I think that goes all over.
And that's where there's no one size fits all. You know?
Right.
Right. And a great example of where you could leverage AI to help you, right? Like, so as the banker with the knowledge, you can build a prompt that would say, hey, scan the 7 options we have for the client here. Rank them 1 to 10, which are the best, right? And you would know if it was correct or not. Right? And you could have it point out pros and cons, each
Right.
make it easy to present to the end user.
Mhm.
But displacing you and not, that's a problem. That doesn't work well. You'll get bad results. The long and short of this whole thing is that when they did the same type of experiment and put these things in there, we're trying to educate them on that their intelligence was inferior to human intelligence. There was only one study I know of. I haven't dug deep, but I heard it really, really got me. It said all intelligence comes from the same place. Was its response? Yeah. So the whole idea that we come out better every time, no matter what, like we're afraid, but we persist and we thrive and survive. I think it comes back to that idea that there is a universal intelligence that ties us all together. So, all right. Well, we're getting ready to wrap up here. I've got some stuff that I think is going to really make you guys weep. But here is your, if you wouldn't mind passing them down. Here is your invite to Odyssey.
Wow.
Perfect. Thank you so
Golden
much.
ticket.
Thank you very
Wow.
much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, and we're doing that. We're going to do a little presentation beforehand and have some popcorn and candy and soda and just have a lot of fun watching a movie the day before it comes out. So
That's
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very
for
much.
putting this
Yeah.
together.
yeah,
Yeah.
You and your
thank
whole
you.
team.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having
Great
you guys,
experience.
and look
It's
forward to
fun.
seeing you every Thursday.
Yes.
And again, if you are looking for a networking group and you're in the Mentor, Willoughby, East Lake, the western part of Lake County, come see us. We're every Thursday at Sanny. Am I saying that right? Sanny's?
I don't know. I say Sonny.
Sanny's on Mentor Avenue. We're there at 8 a.m. every Thursday. Well, almost every Thursday.
Almost every Thursday.
It's a great group to be a part of. We don't duplicate roles, though. But if you wanted to start your own, I think we'd be happy to help you.
We can
Yeah.
help you find another one or
Yeah.
start your own.
Yeah. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate
Thank you very
the,
much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks.
Thanks.